Good morning, guys. I thought I would go ahead and film again because I'm gonna make chocolate chip cookies, and also the rest of the peppermint hot cocoa cookies are in the oven right now, just baking. I'm gonna give a few to my sister and a few to my neighbor, and then I am going to make these chocolate chip cookies. I'm gonna make a 1.5 batch for both family Christmases. So hopefully they turn out good. Might throw a crunchy surprise in there, you never know, but it's December 15th, so 10 days till Christmas, and I'm super excited about that, and I hope you guys are feeling the holiday spirit, but I wanted to go ahead and film this recipe. Alright, so first things first, you're going to put in the 1.5 cups of softened butter. So for today's recipe, since I am making a 1.5 times batch, I'm gonna add in not just 1.5, but I'll add in 1.5 plus 3/4. And I'm just using half salted butter, half unsalted butter. It doesn't really matter which types of butter you use, but do just remember to add extra salt if you choose to use unsalted butter. Okay, so now we're gonna add our 3/4 cup of sugars. So both of your sugars get 3/4 a cup for just the normal recipe, but then since I'm doing 1.5, then I'm gonna go ahead and add the 3/4 white sugar plus a half of 3/4. And then I just fill my thing up, my 1/4 cup. I just do it 1.5 times. And then maybe a little dash extra just to make sure I do get enough sugar. That same thing with the brown sugar, just 3/4 a cup if you're making the normal recipe, and then if you want to make a larger, just make the adjustments needed. So now you can kind of just spoon that together. But just also, you'll want to beat it. Usually I just kind of try to break the butter up into smaller chunks first, just so it's easier to beat. Make sure to get some of those big chunks out, and you kind of want it like this creamy texture, but also you're gonna add the eggs in after, so it'll mix in pretty well once you beat this again. Then you usually add 2 eggs, but because I'm doing the 1.5, I'm gonna add in 3. You can also add your 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And then you'll just go ahead and beat that as well. Okay, so now you can start to add your dry ingredients. It should look like this. It should have definitely got those big chunks out, and it should look kind of smooth like that. But we're gonna go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's what the normal recipe would have. I'm just gonna add 2 full teaspoons of the baking soda, just because I want my cookies to rise, and that's also why I'm just gonna add a half teaspoon this time of the baking powder, or close enough to that, maybe a dash. And add in your salt. Just 1 teaspoon if you used unsalted butter, maybe half a teaspoon if you used salted butter. Then you can just stir that in really well. All right, so now we add in our flour. It's gonna be 2 1/4 a cup, plus as much as you need to stiffen it up and make it into a dough. And then for me, I'm gonna use a little bit more again because I'm making 1 1/2 batch. Also, you might want to just stir in your flour as you go, like add it in 1 cup at a time, just because that is really helpful in getting it all incorporated and making it a smoother dough rather than having chunks of butter here, chunks of flour here. Because mixing your dry ingredients and your wet ingredients, that's the most important part, to make sure that that's mixed. So I added all my flour and it should start to look like a dough like this. It shouldn't be so dry that it's tearing apart, but it should be still wet enough that if you needed to add more flour, you could. And just wet enough to take all of the toppings. And I'll just go ahead and add in the crunchy surprise, which is just chocolate sprinkles, because I'm just gonna use the rest of these up. And then I'll probably add some little Christmas sprinkles as well. So you're gonna wanna add like 1 whole bag of chocolate chips, and then probably, like, if you want them super chocolate chippy, you can add another whole bag, or you can just add half a bag, just whatever your preference is on chocolate chips. And just make sure you're getting your toppings all mixed in, and you just don't want there to be any like huge clumps of chocolate chips or whatever you're using, and you also don't want there to still be super powdery spots of flour. And then also, if there's any big chunks of butter, you really want to take those out because they can make your cookies spread a lot more in the oven, and that's really sad when you've already spent a good amount of work and time on these cookies. Now these are pretty much ready to chill. I usually keep them in the fridge for about 30 minutes to an hour, but today I'm actually just gonna keep these in the fridge until Friday night, and then I'm gonna bake them then. But I like having them ready early because that gives me the freedom to do other things to prepare for our busy family Christmas weekend and then a week after as well. Hi guys, it's super quick. I thought it would be fun to show you guys how I make my little bows that I tie on people's gifts who have a bag, or just that I tie on people's gifts because it's cute. I got this ribbon at Aldi, I think. It's like 75 feet of ribbon for $4. That's a really good deal. I cut off a piece however big you want it. You can always trim it down, but you can't add more. And then I fold it to like make a loop, and then I fold the other side to make a loop, and then you want to twist it to where the tree print is around on this side. So just all you have to do is take it from the back and twist it, because you want this part to show in the front. And then I take a little bit of this twine that I got at Michael's. I think it was like $1. You can also get it at Dollar Tree. I take a little bit of it, just about this much, and I go ahead and tie that right in the center. So just make sure your little tails, I guess, are facing the front, and then you'll take that and you'll just tie the twine around it really tight. That way it holds it in place. So it'll look like that. Oh, hi. You can twist it to where you need it, or how you want it, or how long you want the little tails. Just kind of make them as even as possible, like that. And then you want to kind of tie it multiple times just to secure the bow. So just the twine around it, just make sure it's super secure. And then the end result should look something like that. You can always pull it if you need to even it out. And it's just kind of a cute little bow like this. And this gift already has some twine on it, so I'm just gonna add it right to the center. You can just use that extra twine to tie it right on. And then if you want to, you can leave the tails to the twine as well, but these are kind of long, so I'll just trim them just a little. And then you have a cute little Christmassy touch or Christmas bow to that person's gift. So I love doing that. This is the first year I've actually done it, and I have it on a lot of gifts. I just think it's cute. Here it's a candle, and I just put it in a little bit of tissue paper, and then I tied a bow on it, and then just around it is the twine, so that's super cute. And just doing it to like a basket or whatever is really cute. You can also do other bows like this. I'll show you. Just leave a little tail on the side once you start making your loops, and then on your first loop you'll just go ahead and put that around. That way you just have like a little kind of base, I guess. And also this ribbon has some wire in it, so that really helps it to hold its shape. So like this, and then you'll just grab the twine and you'll just tie it right here on the center where all of the creases meet. And then before you actually secure it, you'll just want to make sure the whole bow looks exactly like you want it to. Go like that. And then this one does have a little tail, so I'll just tuck that in the back of it. And it'll just be like this. And then you have your little tails to secure it with the twine. And that's like a really cute addition to your gift as well. It also has this way that you can do a ribbon if you'd like to do it that way. So I just thought it would be kind of cute to show you guys how to add little bows to gifts. I can show you some of the bows that I've put on some of my gifts. Here's one that I tied on this basket. There's one, there's one. There's one on a smaller gift. There's one. There's this little tiny baby one that I added twine to just because I thought it was cute. And then there's one as well. Alright guys, that's going to be the end of today's video. That was the 15th and the 16th. I may film a little bit this weekend depending on family Christmases and stuff like that. I think that could be fun and cute. But I love you guys. Please feel free to leave prayer requests down below in the comments, and I will catch up with you guys soon.